How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to reveal something about my net worth that I don't normally go and tell anybody. Most of you that watch my other videos would know that I recommend tracking your net worth because the act of tracking it kind of increases it in itself. I personally started doing this about 8 years ago, and ever since I started tracking it, it has increased about 37% every single year. Now this is 37% compounded. It's not just 37% from the first year. So if I were to tell myself at the very beginning that this is going to happen, I would be like, no way. I didn't think it would ever go like this. And this compounding of 37% every single year has gone on for the last 7.5 years. In other words, this is about a tenfold increase from my initial net worth 7.5 years ago. Put another way, this is kind of like doubling your net worth every 2 years and 3 months. Now, just to give you some real data, here's the actual chart I use to track my net worth over this last 7 years. The bottom x-axis, when you see a 9, is actually 2009, and it goes up from there all the way to 17, which is 2017. Now, for obvious reasons, I actually removed the y-axis because I don't actually want to give out the exact net worth number anywhere. You can have a guess, but the information I give in this video really does not say what my exact net worth is today, and this is on purpose. All I'm saying is whatever I started out with, it could be $1,000 or $10,000, but 7.5 years later is 10 times this. So let's say I started with $1,000, now I have $10,000. Or if I started with $10,000, maybe today I have $100,000. The whole purpose of this video is not to give away my net worth, but to show you the rate of increase at which I'm increasing my net worth. This is not for me to show off to anybody or to anybody that actually watches this video. The purpose here is to draw attention to how fast I can actually increase my net worth every single year and to tell you how I actually do it. Now, in order for you to increase your net worth drastically like how I did, basically there's a whole bunch of common themes that run across my whole channel. This includes living within your means. I'm an engineer actually, and I spend way less than my entire salary, of course. Another point is to not try to look rich, because when you try to look rich, you actually spend a lot of money and it's decreasing your net worth. It's interesting that the people that strive to look rich are the people that do not have a higher and higher net worth. When you start tracking your net worth and start concentrating on it, you kind of look at your expenses in a very different way. You start to think about whatever decision you make, how does it affect your bottom line? Are you losing money in this transaction or not? Whenever you buy something flashy, of course you're going to see your bank account go down. And then this is unreclaimed money, because when you buy that flashy item, there's a lot of depreciation that goes along with it. Depreciation is on my mind a lot whenever I buy something. So the best thing you can do is to try to minimize the amount of things that you buy that depreciates a lot. So this place that you see right here, I actually own this place. I do not rent. A lot of you have asked this before, and I've contemplated a really long time, and this video, I feel like it's where I need to tell you this because I'm making a video about increasing your net worth, and this is a big part that helped increase my net worth at the rate it did. I also want to kind of drive home the point of the stuff I actually own. The stuff I own may not be all that flashy. These couches are actually fairly cheap. I bought them on Amazon. It might be expensive to you, but I definitely could have went to Macy's and spent maybe like $3,000 on couches, but instead I think I paid more like, I don't know, $1,000 for both of these instead. This dinosaur here I really like, and I actually didn't pay anything for it because it was a salvage stuffed animal. This is called an ugly doll. It's very ugly, but it's very cute, and it's called an ice bat. I got this at a White Elephant, and thanks Annie and Brian who actually brought this gift there. This steak was $20. I bought it at the Maker Faire. This pea thing I really like also. It's about $25, I think. This table here is also a salvage item. It used to look really, really ugly. It had a stain on it because it was left outside, but I decided to sand it down and then I painted it white, and now it looks, you know, really good actually. The stain is like buried underneath over the paint, of course. This lamp here came from my coworker Anthony, who gave it to me when he left for Australia. He just kind of stopped working and then picked up everything and went there, I guess. You may realize from my older videos I had a Dyson fan here. I actually sold that fan because it wasn't that functional to me, and I felt like I put it there just kind of, it was like a show item, and I actually didn't really need it anymore. The shirt I got for free from Banana Republic. I think these jeans are also Banana Republic, and I got these for free as well. So my point with just pointing out all the stuff around me right now is that, wow, look, I didn't buy anything around here, it seems. The point I'm trying to make is all this stuff actually doesn't cost me all that much, and yet I really like all these items. Now, if I were to summarize what actually made this 37% increase in net worth every single year, it's probably a whole bunch of different things. There's just an attitude with accumulating net worth. One thing I did about 5-6 years ago was to kill off all the monthly dues that I was able to. So no cable, no cell phone bill, no subscription of any kind. Trash bill, I greatly reduced it. Just any kind of recurring monthly cost, including credit card annual fees, I have none of those. You really have to take a really hard look at it, because when you automate paying stuff, it's just like poking holes in your bucket, in your net worth bucket, and it all just drips out automatically. Versus if it's not an automatic monthly payment, you actually physically have to go and press a submit button or press a buy button, then it makes things a lot more difficult for you to spend. So reducing automatic monthly payments just kind of sets you in the mode of automatically saving. One thing I did before was I traded a lot more actively in the stock market, 4 or 5 years ago. When I traded, I actually incurred a lot of frictional costs that I just talked about, where every single trade is like $10. I would do it so much that by the end of the year, I would see the actual trading costs I incurred, and yet my portfolio didn't really increase. But I did all this movement in and out. Sure, one day I would make money, another day I would lose money, but then at the end, it kind of averaged out to like no gain or no loss even. So I had a short position in something where I actually had to pay dividend in reverse. Rather than getting dividend, I had to pay it because I was holding the short position. One thing that helped increase the net worth was just to finally kill off those short positions. Yes, there was a loss, but it's actually really good that I killed those off because I no longer have to pay the dividend. And it's just kind of like lifted burden. You do not have like a monthly recurring outgoing payment, and you might have other outgoing payments yourself that you may want to cut off. One of them likely being a storage unit. That's like $100 or something every single month. You can cut that off. I also paid off my student loan during this time, which allowed me to save on the interest I had to pay in the student loan, because if I paid it off, then I'm not spending that interest money in the loan. Therefore, you think about it this way, where the money that would have went into the student loan interest payment, instead you're putting in your pocket instead. I also pay down the mortgage. The way I look at it, every single time you put money in, you're saving that interest payment. So this is like a rock solid way to earn net worth. You do not actually earn cash that you can take out, right? But when you look at it in the net worth perspective, let's say you put $10,000 in and the interest rate is 4%. That's about $400 savings a year. Well, you can't put this same $10,000 and just save it in cash and get your 1%. So you can do it that way and get $100, or you can just pay down your mortgage and get $400 in net worth gains. Of course, you can argue, hey, why don't I put that $10,000 in the stock market instead? But there is a risk with that. You might gain 10%, you might gain 20%, or you might lose 20%. So this is more of a conservative thing. If you pay more into your mortgage, it's kind of like guaranteed gains. And who doesn't like guaranteed gains rather than having some risk? So if you're interested in this whole high accumulation of wealth idea and what types of people actually accumulates that much wealth, you might want to check out the book The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley. If you're a high accumulator of wealth type of person, you would actually look for ways to get this audiobook for free actually, and you can do this through my Audible link down in the video description below. If you don't like the service, you can still cancel it and still keep the Millionaire Next Door book, and you can still help benefit this channel. I also have a Patreon link over here, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.